Hello, this is Ariela Carmel, and I'm at Calcalist and Bank Leumi's Tech and Invest conference in Miami. I'm joined by Alon Gorbonos, General Partner and Founder at RE Angels. Thank you for joining me, Alon.
Of course, very excited to be here, Ariela. Thank you for having me.
Of course. So can you start off by telling me about RE Angels?
Yeah, absolutely. So RE Angels stands for Real Estate Angels, and we are a venture capital firm dedicated solely to this fascinating intersection between real estate and technology. So what we do, we look for visionary entrepreneurs that trying to disrupt, I think, one of the last frontiers or last asset classes that hasn't been digitized like everything else. And we focus primarily on early stage, so pre-seed to round A.
Could you maybe expand a bit more for our viewers who are less familiar with this, what used to be a niche sector but is obviously growing, about the intersection between construction and tech?
Of course. So all of you probably familiar with real estate, and you as well, right? We live in houses. We basically have a roof over our head 24/7. But what happened is basically that specific world of real estate kind of like wasn't really disrupted with technology up until the last few years. And there is many reasons behind it. But I think it's very exciting now that we see kind of like how everything that we do, from paying rent to now managing a construction site, to picking materials, to how the capital is moving in real estate, everything is now becoming digitized and everything modernized. And I think that's what we in RE Angels look at. So we basically divide this universe into three verticals. So property technology that help you manage the asset, construction technology, how you kind of manage a construction site, and also kind of like, just to give you a fact, cement, for example, it's an antiquated material that hasn't been disrupted for the last maybe 170 years. And it's one of the biggest polluters. So can we build now with new materials and with new techniques? And the last but not least is a fintech of real estate, if that makes sense.
And you've been very active in the Israeli market. You've invested in a number of Israeli companies. Can you tell me a little bit about that and about what you're seeing in the sector in Israel?
Yeah, absolutely. So obviously coming from Israel, it's for me very natural. I'm a big fan, and I think it's very important to invest in Israel. And I think truly Israel brings amazing innovation. So we are in our portfolio, I think we have about 70% of portfolio companies that are based in Israel. And to name a few is Coversea, that are doing basically LP, GP type of digital banking for commercial real estate. And we have Waltz, which is basically based actually also in Miami and from Israel. And they are disrupting the entire cross-border lending. And Blanket also, which started in Israel and moved to Miami. So there is many interesting examples of very exciting technology coming to the States from Israel.
I'm curious about what you think regarding the impact of AI on this sector, and also because in Israel specifically, I think we have some of the most AI companies per capita in the world, and I'm wondering if that's impacted the increase in construction tech companies in Israel also.
Yeah, it's interesting you mentioned, because there is right now a big trend of innovation coming in the construction field from Israel. And probably we can dig into that on a later time, but just even not just me, but like if you point into a McKinsey, that they did a huge study and they valued the AI opportunity within real estate to be valued at approximately $180 billion.
Oh, wow.
So where it actually comes to play, real estate transaction as a whole involves many stakeholders and a lot of back office and a lot of information. I think where AI can be interesting is how we now automating these entire back office processes and manual and redundant legacies that now can be use AI agents and bots to basically look into what human beings are doing now to do it faster and obviously much more cost efficient.
Do you think having AI-based technology has become like a prerequisite for a lot of investors? Like, do you see companies operating in this space that don't incorporate AI at this point?
I think it's very kind of like subjective question, but at least I can tell you that for us as investors, we kind of like, as you said, we look at it as a requirement, meaning if you're not using right now AI, and using AI, I mean even if you connect it to ChatGPT, right? It's like those basics is like you're just missing a big opportunity.
Right.
On the contrary, if all you have is, I have AI, but I don't have a real solution, I think it's not really interesting, right? It's kind of like you need to have them both at the same time.
It needs to be an element, but it can't replace the entire concept.
Exactly. It's not just a buzzword. It's a tool, like any other tool in your toolkit.
Right. Okay, well, thank you so much, Alon, for speaking with us.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
My pleasure, and enjoy the conference.
Thank you.